Hi everyone, I decided to start our Wednesday videos on embossing, and this is going to be the dry embossing. So we're still using our Cuttlebug, and we're going to be using this embossing folder, and it's by the Paper Studio. And what I'm showing you there is on each embossing folder there's a side that sticks up and a side that kind of is sunken in. So I'm going to put that vellum in there to give it great detailing on the vellum paper because of the way that the embossing folder works. So it's going to be the A plate, then a B plate, and then you're going to put your embossing folder and another B plate on top. So when you're embossing, it's going to be a B and a B. And then when you pull out the vellum, there you go. And it creates a wonderful texture on the vellum, and because of the pressure of the plate, it gives you this nice, a brighter white on top of the vellum. It's really pretty. Now, I went into my stash, my scrap stash next to me, and I grabbed a piece of paper. I put down wax paper, and then I put down the dies, which is the snowflake dies from the Stamp of Approval box. And I just ran it through about, I would say, what was that, 3 times forward, like once forward, back, and then forward again. And you're going to see they're going to pop out really easy, which is what I should have done when I was trying to do the other snowflakes on that Friday card I think I did, just last Friday. Yeah. Because with this paper, because it wasn't too thick, everything came out pretty well. And I'm just popping out, all the pieces and getting all the snowflakes out. Because I'm not sure if I'm going to use all of them, or if I'm just going to use, like 3 or 4. I'm not sure. So right now I'm just getting all the pieces out. Because I really like layering the bigger one. That's that one there, with the one up in the upper left side, I guess, of the screen. They're right next to each other right now on the mat, but they're really fun. And then we just have one more. Now when I pulled the smaller one out, I noticed that some of the center of the smaller circles, they stayed in, which isn't a problem, because as soon as I pulled it off, I just took my piercing tool and just popped them right out. And that's another fun thing about these dies. When you punch out the circles, if you wanted to, some of them are super tiny, but if you wanted to, you could save them as confetti or, accents on top of the vellum. But I didn't save these ones. Now, what I did here, they have a tape that's supposedly specifically for vellum. And so I'm trying to get it pulled off here. And it kind of works like the double-sided tape, like the score tape. But I found even after using it on the vellum, I could still see it through on the inside. You could see it. And that's the whole thing with vellum. It's see-through, so any type of adhesive that you use, a lot of times you can see through. Now, I'm actually holding the finished product in my hand, and I'm looking at it while I'm talking to you now, and I still can see the adhesive underneath. So I think with this one, if I were to do it again, I would probably do an additional piece of cardstock, maybe make the vellum just like ½ inch longer and have it fold over and attach it that way, or use maybe ribbon or something that I could hide the adhesive underneath, because it does look tacky when you can see all that adhesive right underneath. Right from the very front of the page. You don't want people looking at adhesive, you want them to look at all the pretty snowflakes, obviously. So right now I'm just figuring out how I'm going to make the snowflakes work on the actual card itself. And I like doubling up the 2 snowflakes, which I put right where I put it is kind of where I'm thinking I want my sentiment to go. So I wanted the bigger one kind of closer to that. And then I decided to use the 3 snowflakes and not use that last one, the smaller one with the circles. I decided that I didn't need it on this particular one. So now we're going to work on our sentiment, which we're using also from Stamp of Approval Box. And this one is from Casual Fridays, and it's the Snowy Sayings. And I really like all these stamp sets, really and truly. The wording, I love how it's scripted. So I decided to emboss this one. So I took my embossing powder from EK, rubbed that along the white paper, and now I'm stamping it in VersaFine, or Versamark, excuse me. And then real quick, I'm just gonna pour the powder over top of a piece of paper real quick. I didn't have my coffee filter near me, so. And it works. If you have a piece of paper that you can put it on, you can still put it right back into the container. It's whichever, you know, is most easiest for you. And because there was a little bit of powder on the side of the H, I just took a brush to get away, you know, all the excess powder that was kind of standing there, because I'd blown on it, but it didn't come off. So now we're just heating it up. And whenever you're heat embossing, it's just very important to kind of warm up your heat tool first. And I always like to heat from the back as well. It kind of helps with the warping. So now we're just going to cut this down. And I made it 1.5 inches wide, and it was just too big. So I wanted to cut it down real quick. And then we're going to turn it into a banner. And the easiest way to do that is to cut right down the middle and then go up from each corner to create that banner look. So right in the center, from each corner, and then the next corner. There you go. And you have a banner. I'm just going for the placement of where I want to put the snowflakes. And what I decided to do, because of the texture of the embossing, I decided to use dimensionals, and I get these from Stampin' Up. We're going to put down the sentiment first, and then I'm going to continue with putting down the snowflakes. And I just cut one of the dimensionals to put under the smallest one, so that way it had a little dimension down there on the bottom. And then this one, because there's not a whole lot in the center, I decided to get my quick dry. And I'm just putting a little bit of glue along the points of the snowflake. Now on this one, I decided to do kind of a combination. I put glue on the center of each of the snowflakes, and then I'm attaching them together. And then once I have them set up the way I want, then I'm putting the leftover dimensional on the back side of that one. Pressing that down, and then using the quick dry glue again on the last snowflake. Oopsie. That's why I work on top of a mat. It's super easy. It lifts up, and then you just wipe it off. Alright, and there you have it. So thank you guys for joining me today. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And if you guys have any comments or questions, please just leave, a comment down below. And I look forward to seeing you guys in our Friday video. You guys have a good one.